Welcome back to episode 3 of Raising Real Estate Standards with Mark Mann and
Brian Mann.
Hey guys, how are you doing? Today we're gonna unpack the 3 key components of building a successful real estate business, and I'll be honest, it's any other business could follow suit with this. But I saw a quote the other day that basically, I'm going to read it to you. It says, you're good where you are, but you're just too great to stay where you are. And so internalize that, take that, and as we go through the next few minutes, even if you are running a fantastic real estate business, understand we can always get better at our craft, and we can always enhance what we're doing.
That I would say that's probably the number one first thing in humbling yourself in business growth is knowing you can always be better, always looking for opportunities to be better, always looking at things, hey, I kind of fell short a little bit here, and what can I do to get better? But some of these things, one of the things that I definitely see in our business is consistency. So I'm going to talk about the first thing of what it really takes to run this really, really well-oiled machine, and that's consistency. Guys, consistency is one of the hardest things to achieve. And I'll tell you what, I heard this came from Darren Hardy in a podcast that I listened to, and basically consistency is defined as you willing to do the thing that you need to do after you've lost and I'm going to use the term passion, of what made you think you're going to do that. So basically, think about that for a second. You're saying you're going to do something, and then time goes on, and you're already kind of on to something else, but you're still doing that thing you set out to do. Guys, that is consistency.
Absolutely. And, as you said, it's one of the hardest, if not the hardest things to do because, in our world of instant gratification and shiny new objects that get thrust in front of our faces every single day, and new ways and of doing business, it's hard to stay on track. And, you and I, Brian, we see it day in and day out as we are consulting with high-performing individuals, high-performing real estate agents, and even the best of the best struggle with this. And because in the world of information that is right at our fingertips, as a matter of fact, even when we don't want to hear from somebody or some organization, they hijack us with instant alerts onto our phones and send us something. Here's a news alert. This happened over here. This person is super successful because they did X, Y, and Z. And it can derail a very well-laid plan.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's think about that for a second. I mean, why do you see all of these systems coming into play to sell to you for your business? And again, some of these are what you need for consistency, but what makes consistency work is when you automate it. It's when you make it into an automatic thing to where you don't have to think about it. It's just happening. Whether it be a system, an electronic system, a system you've produced, or you've just gotten into the habit of doing said activity. That's still that system that you're putting in place for that.
Absolutely. I'm drawn to a comment or a video that I saw a few days ago, where increased productivity comes from a reduction of choices that you have to make in life. And it is, if you automate something, and automation doesn't mean somebody else or something else is doing it, but it's automatic that it's happening every single day. But if you remove choices from your daily life, then your productivity is going to increase. One of my mentors that is a phenomenal broker owner of a real estate firm in Washington State, basically said he wears a blue shirt every single day. Why? because he doesn't have to think about it. He gets up in the morning and he puts on his blue shirt, regardless of whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. It's going to be a blue shirt. He's got all the stuff that goes with it, and he didn't have to use any brain power to think about what he was going to do that morning. While that's a minute, very obvious, or not obvious, but very small thing in the world, he didn't have to sit there and worry about it. And thus is when it comes to consistency, it's something you don't have to think about, that you build it, it's in your world, and you do it daily or however often it has to be done.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've talked a little bit about consistency. The next thing I want to talk about kind of goes hand in hand with consistency, but could actually be put in place before consistency, and that's commitment. You have to be committed to what you're doing. Again, you're committed to these things, these activities that you're doing for your business. And if you don't have that, if you just have that, hey, I'm going to do this, and then 3 days from today, you're finding something else to do, that's not commitment.
No. What was the 15 minutes and 2-day rule or 3-day rule that our coach has mentioned to us? And basically what that states is that if you're going to add something to your world, it shouldn't take more than 15 minutes. And you should not let 2 days go by without doing it, because the 15-minute piece is, that's easy to commit to. That's not something that's arduous, going to take a ton of time. But two, the 2-day rule. If you let something go more than 48 hours, I'm not saying too busy, saying 48 hours. If you let 48 hours go by that you didn't do that item or that task that you said that you were going to do that was important to you, that you took time and said, it's important to me that I want to do this. If you let 2 days go by, then it's easier to let 3 days go by. It's easier to let 4 days go by. And then the next thing you know, it's hard to do it again because you've got so many other things that you've built around it.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about exercise for a second.
Oh, good gosh.
So raise your hand if you've gotten 3, 4, 5 days away from either going to the gym, running, or doing that, any kind of exercise thing that you're doing. How hard is it to get back in there that next day? It gets harder and harder and harder every day that goes past.
No question. And you know what I'm committed to in exercise? That's memberships. I have a lot of exercise memberships, and commitment to going to them every single day is probably something I need to work on. But right now I'm committed to paying those membership fees every single month.
So tell me something though, Mark. You've told me something you're consistent and committed to in the memberships, but tell me something you've been consistent and committed to within your business that's really helped out.
Sure. Getting up early and starting my day, while maybe not inside the office, starting my day before the distractions come, and trying to get my mindset right. And I have been, and I've been doing this for a while now, and that is either reading something inspirational, getting my headspace right, so that when I come in to the office, that I'm not coming into the office with baggage. I'm coming to the office with a clear head, positive motivation, because that exudes out of you, whether you know it or don't. And so that's one of the big things that I've been committed to. It's really, really helped.
It's funny you bring up morning routine as when you're talking about consistency and commitment. Because I was gonna do the same thing. So I've got like a little morning routine that I do. I've got some inspirational reading. I'll usually jump into my Bible reading when I'm doing that, and then when I'm finished, I've got a 10-minute meditation that I do. And I'm gonna tell you right now, there is nothing that has helped me get ready and get going than this quiet meditation time that I've done. If anybody looking for anything like that out there, check out the Calm app. It's really, really good. But yeah, just having that peace in your life, it just kind of grounds you and then gets you ready for everything else. But some other examples of kind of consistency in your business. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Consistency in your business. So as you are when you sit down either with a coach or a mentor or by yourself, introspectively looking at it, and you have decided that this is how you're going to increase your business, or this is how you're going to make your business better, whether it be to increase the amount of business that you're doing or the quality in which you are handling your business, and taking those ideas and writing them down. First and foremost, with a goal or a task, nothing is truly going to become a part of you unless you write it down. So I encourage that to be the number one thing that you do to get started. As we're talking about consistency and commitment, there's a third avenue, and I would be remiss to say that in my mind, it's probably the first thing that needs to be done before even choosing what you're going to commit to and what you're going to consistently do. And that's compatibility. So these are the 3 C's of developing successful strategies within the real estate business and any other business. And compatibility, what does that mean? What is compatibility? Well, I would argue that a person is only going to consistently do and be committed to something that is in harmony with who they are as a person. I am not going to consistently pick up the phone and have a call list and cold call people to sell them a widget day in and day out, because that is not in harmony of who I am. I would my hands would start to sweat. It would be very, my heart would start to race. It'd be very uncomfortable for me to do that. Could I do it for a little bit of time? Yeah, I mean, I've got the gumption to pick up the phone and do that. I don't mind that. But it's not something I like to do, and it's not in harmony with who I am as a person. So, when we talk about compatibility, Brian, talk to us about, some people know who they are, some people don't know who they are, and some people need to see it written down in front of them.
Yeah, so I get asked this quite a bit, all right, Brian, I've got a couple different things that I do in my business to lead generate. Which is the most important? And the answer to that is it depends. If you don't know what's the most comfortable for you, it's probably best to give things a try to see how it works, especially early on in your career. But at the end of the day, you want to be consistent in what you do, because that is who you are. When you're getting in front of people, they know you as this person. So if you are, let's call it cold calling, or you're sending out a mailer, or you're doing a pop by, or you're whatever activity you're doing, the person you get in front of, that's how they know you, is through that and the relationship you're building with them. So it's very important to do something that you're comfortable with, because that's going to lead to the consistency aspect of it. And then that's just who you are. It's just going to come second nature.
Yeah. It's as you're trying to lead down this path of trying to figure out, what you like to do, what is comfortable for you. A lot of times people don't know that. They're not in tune with who they are and what they do. So one of the things that we like to do is when we're sitting down and talking with someone who may or may not really have that idea of what fits with them, is to give them a personality test. We're really big into making sure that people know who they are, and we use a simple DISC personality test that it takes 3 minutes to fill out, but the information that is garnered from that can be life changing and business changing, because if you're not doing things that are in harmony, it's uncomfortable and it's you're not happy. But if you can come into the day and you can do things that are in harmony with who you are as a person, it's going to make life and it's going to make your business that much better.
Yeah, for example, at the end of the day, if you're a certain personality type, you're going to be a lot more comfortable with a cold call, phone ringing. Let's contact as many people as possible, and that's where you're going to thrive. Others are going to be much more kind of, hey, I've got these 50 people that I just love to talk to, and I've built these great relationships around, and then that's been a core of your business. But really, you've got to figure out who you are, and you can do this through the personality profiles, and that will point you in that direction if you don't know that yet.
Absolutely, and I want to make sure that we're, as we go through the next, the number of episodes that we're going to go through, guys, there's no one way to run a real estate business, a real estate sales business. There's 100 ways to run a real estate sales business. And I would argue that there's not a personality type that is not conducive to doing well within real estate. Anybody can do well in real estate. If you're an introvert, if you're an extrovert, if you're someone who is, just really thinks through a lot of things, whatever your personality type may be, it doesn't matter. There's a way for you to do really well in this business and do well in a way that, is not something that makes you, apprehensive or really runs you down because you're doing things in difference with the harmony of who you are.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And we hope to go in more to the personality profile test, possibly the DISC test in another episode. And I think we've got a pretty good expert who will be able to come on and talk about it.
Absolutely. Guys, we walking through the 3 C's of how to build a successful real estate business. We kind of went through some of these backwards, so we're going to kind of start in reverse. First thing that you need to have is compatibility. What you're doing and how you're setting your business up has to be compatible with who you are. 2, you have to be committed to it. So once you figure out that the way you're going to run your business is compatible with who you are, you got to be committed to that's what you're going to do. And you're not going to get distracted from all the shiny objects that get thrown your way, because they are going to get thrown your way. You've got to be committed to that process. And then 3 is consistency. You have to consistently do what it is you said you were committed to do, even when you are faced with other great opportunities or great ideas, that you don't leave behind what you said was how you wanted to build your business. You have to, in those light, you have to be committed and consistently doing them.
Perfectly said. I mean, if you can take anything away from today, it's that. Add that to your business. If you don't know who you are, figure it out. Make the commitment to do what you're going to do and be consistent with it.
Guys, it's been a fantastic episode. Again, this was high level. We're going to dig into a lot of more specific stuff in other episodes, but laying the foundation for helping you build your business is what we do and how we start out any of our consultative conversations, and excited for episodes to come. Brian, I appreciate your time. Mm-hmm. And guys, this has been episode 3 of the Raising Real Estate Standards podcast, and look forward to talking with you guys next time.
Absolutely. If you have any questions on any of this, see our show notes or contact us. Look forward to answering any questions we can.